Hello, my name's Adam Jacobs, Principal Engineer at Proofpoint, and in this demo I am going to go over how you can create a custom indicator for, in this case, a test file, and then generate an alert via the Microsoft Defender console. So I've created a test file. It's a Word document, and now we've got the hash for our test file. We're going to use the advanced hunting capability to locate that file on our test system. So Microsoft has got this language they use for queries called Custo, and I'm going to go into Notepad here, and I'm going to take a query that I created earlier, and we are going to look for the SHA-256 value for our file, and let's run that query. And we can see on our test system that we have a file, and the file name is badworddocument.x. You can see the location, and obviously we have the corresponding SHA-256 values. Now we can actually take this Custo query, and we can also use Microsoft's API to also look up the file. So we're going to go into the API Explorer, and I have actually converted the value into JSON. So we're going to take the JSON that I created earlier, and I'm going to post that in here, and we're going to change that from get to post, and we're going to update our endpoint. Okay, and we'll put that into our endpoint and run the query, and we can see we've got the same or similar response via Microsoft's API for Defender. So we can see again all the information about the file. If I scroll all the way down, we can get some file information. There we go. We can see the path, we can see the file name, just like we saw earlier on in the advanced hunting window. So now what we're going to do is we're going to condemn the file, and we're going to essentially add a custom indicator to our tenant. So if we go into our indicators that we've got, or custom indicators, so we go to settings and endpoints, and we go into indicators. We've got no custom indicators right now, and you can see we've got a capacity of 15,000 indicators which are tenant specific. So we're gonna add one specifically with our file hash. So let's again copy the JSON, and I'm going to go back into the API Explorer. So let's post that in here. I'm just going to bring this down a bit so we can go over the JSON. And I'm going to also update our endpoint again, and this is also going to be a post. Okay, so before we post that or run the query, we've got again our SHA-256 value. We've got a title for our test here, we're calling it Proofpoint test, and we've got an expiration time for when the custom indicator is going to expire. So I'm actually going to update that here. Okay, so that's going to be valid until midnight on the 1st of February. We've got our action, block and remediate. We're going to generate an alert in the admin console. We set our severity. So let's run that. And we've got a status code 200. So if we go back into settings and endpoints, and indicators. We should now see our indicator. So that's automatically been populated via the API. We can see the value. We can see it says block and remediate, generate an alert. So everything is as we expected. Let's close that. Okay, so now let's go into our alerts console. And if everything went well, we should now see an alert. Here we go. So we can see, if I open up our alert here, there is a file that was tried, that Explorer tried to open. It was our bad Word document that we created earlier. And we can now say that this was a false alert because it was a test. And that concludes our demo. So in this demo, we took a sample file. We created a custom indicator for that file. We then used the Defender API and we created a custom indicator. We also found that the file was present on one of our test machines. And then we saw an alert get generated via the alerting console.